Boys and girls, today we're breaking down the 2018 men's P12 Tour of Corsicana. So Saturday morning was a time trial, straight into a headwind. I did not have the GoPro on for this, so I drew a photo of me riding against the wind. Not very happy. I got passed by many people and went very slowly. I almost went backwards. It was pretty bad. But anyways, time trial didn't go well for me. We did have Mike Smith, who finished 7th. That set up pretty well for a decent GC position heading into the crit. That being said, night crit, super excited for this night crit going into it. Myself, Mark Nero, Grayson Kepler, all super excited, all ready to rip it. Very technical course, bricks on one section. It's dark, you can't see on half of the course. Very excited for it going into it. The race was super fast. Nothing really got away. Bunch of attacks, but no one could make anything stick for more than like 4 seconds. It was pretty impressive. Race was really fast, kept it all together, and relatively safe. A little bit of sketchy stuff because it is a night crit and that happens, but relatively safe up until the last lap. Last couple laps, rode at the front, on the front, keeping them in good position out of the wind. I blew my lights out with one to go and was going backwards and avoided the big crash in turn 1. Crash happened, took out a bunch of people, but it was so far back, anyone at that point in the race was too far out to really contend the finish, so went right up the inside and just pedaled on into the finish. Grace and Mark were ahead of the crash, didn't get involved with it at all. Sprinted and ended up 3rd and 4th. Nice night of racing. So with that crash, that basically neutralized the GC with the exception of time bonuses for Kyle Anderson, who won. But the GC didn't really change. A couple people in front of Mike dropped out, either by getting straight up dropped in the crit or crashing and not being able to start the next day. But he moved up to 4th in the GC going into the road race. Grayson and Mark were like right near the top 10. Road race, right start of the race, got into a little breakaway with a couple other dudes, Nick Roka and some other guys. Brought back immediately. As soon as we're caught, teammate Chris Hansen goes, and that ends up starting the race-long breakaway that ended up winning. We had Chris Hansen and David Genoa in the move, and we were very content with that. And basically, we never saw them again. Several people got dropped from the breakaway, but Nick and David ended up staying out. Nick won, David 2nd. Breakaway goes lap 1, basically do nothing the rest of lap 1. Lap 2, Elbows goes to the front and sticks it in the gutter in the windy section, rips the field apart. It's a group of 7 or 8 with 3 of the 4 Elbows members in that front little bunch that had a little bit of a gap over the rest of the field, which was another like 10 people at that point. And for the remainder of lap 2, it was just full on the gas, in the gutter, in the wind. To start lap 3, everything came back together with this now reduced peloton. It stayed pretty chill for most of lap 3. And then lap 4, a little bit of tempo, nothing too crazy. I was sitting on the front, rotating. Grayson and Mark feeling pretty good, feeling ready for the sprint. So I was rotating with the Elbows dudes, trying to keep my guys safe, out of the wind, and pedal. After rotating with the Elbows guys for a bit, I was spent and dropping right off the back. I think it was just like 5 or 6 miles to go. And right as I'm dropping off, I see 2 guys like kind of go off into the grass, not really crash, but jump off their bikes, get ready to change a wheel, and turns out it is Mike Smith and Mark Nero, as you can see.
Stay calm, you're good, you got it?
Alright, pedal easy until the truck passes you.
Look at left.
riding together and finishing just a little bit off the back of the peloton. That unfortunately moved both of them out of contention for decent GC standings. But Grayson won the field sprint, David in second, and they ended up both moving up. Grayson finished 11th in GC and David 15th in GC. Good weekend of racing for Giant Lakeside Audi McKinney Roka boys in Corsicana, Texas. Pretty excited to be taking this week off of racing myself. No driveway this week and nothing on the weekend. We have driveway next week and Jesuit road race the following a week from this coming Sunday. And it's time to start getting, man, it's already time to start getting full gas for Athens, Twilight, and Speedweek back out in Georgia. Super excited for it. It's gonna be fun. Got the first night crit out of the way and just ready for more.
Quick front wheel, come on, come on, come on.